Alright, oh, I need to, since I'm streaming. Alright, guys, so here's our notes for today. The first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and start our Cornell notes. So we're going to use about a 3-finger spacing. Can you, like, put headphones on if you're going to do that, Alex?
Yeah.
Alright, and then try to draw somewhat of a straight line. Then we do our lazy eye across the top. And the first thing we're going to write up there is we're going to write our lesson. And our lesson is 13-2, converted customary units of capacity. And all that means is customary units of capacity is that we're talking about gallons, cups, pints, quarts, things that we really measure liquid, or sometimes we measure like dry items like rice or beans, stuff like that. Okay, remember in 5th grade we never have to go from gallons to liters, which is the metric for capacity. Okay. So then our essential question today is, how do you change units of capacity? No question mark. Alright, and then I'm going to skip a line and then I'm going to start. So first of all, let's talk about customary units of capacity. Okay. And let's look at, like, so the first one we could have is a gallon. And then 1 gallon could equal 4 quarts. Or quarts. Okay. Then if 1 gallon, we're starting at the biggest, which is a gallon. Then our next thing is 1 quart equals 2 pints. And then we got to figure out, well, what does 1 pint equal? 1 pint equals 2 cups. And then finally, what does 1 cup equal? And 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces, or FLOZ. So FL doesn't stand for Florida. FL stands for fluid ounces. Okay? And guys, remember, where in our math notebook can I find all this information, even if it's not in my notes? Where, Abby? The FSA reference, not review, reference sheet. Because that's the same sheet you get when you take your test. So we need to be using that sheet every day so we would know what we're looking for, okay? Is that picture clear? Okay. So once I have my notes, let's talk about, there's something I want you guys to do that you didn't do yesterday. And in a certain way I want you to show your work. So my first example, I'm going to use number 1 from Guided Practice. And my first example is 32 cups equals how many gallons? Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that problem as 32 cups equals how many gallons? The first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to find that single unit. The single unit. So if I have 1 gallon, how many cups would I have? Well, if there's 2 cups in a pint and 2 pints in a quart, that means there's 4 cups in a quart. And if there's 4 quarts in a gallon, so that means for every quart I have 4 cups, and there's 4 of those, that would give me 16 cups. So 16 cups equal 1 gallon. Do we see that? And we could also model that. Like, if we wanted to model this, I could start here. And I could, let's say I start with something big. And a square. And let's say this is 1 gallon. Okay? Well, I could use the same square. But I could divide this square into fourths. And each of these could be 1 quart. Okay? And then I could even take it a step further. And I divide this again. And this time I divide my quarts in half. And each one of those equal 1 pint. Okay, and I have the same thing. I just do 1 pint, 1 pint, 1 pint. Hey, are you still in the live stream, Alex? I was going to try to see if I had any comments. YouTube. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what would I divide this into the next time? What would be my next simplification? What do you got, Blake? Huh? Cups. And how many cups are in a pint? 4, right? No, 2. So if the same block again, but inside here I have divide that in half. Okay? And each side of these is, I'm just going to put a C because I don't have a lot of room. It's a cup. And if we look at this in fraction terms, right here we could have, this could be 1 over 1 because that's a whole gallon, right? Then right here you got the same thing but 1 over 4. You see, for a single quart, a pint is 1. Eighth. I'm sorry. A pint is 1/8. And a cup is 1/16. Okay? Pretty simple so far? Alright, so let's do one more example, and then I can get off this live stream. And my other example is going to be number 3. And it's going to be 48 quarts equals how many pints? Can you guys see that? I need a slide. There we go. Okay? So if I look at this, 48 pints equal 48 quarts equal how many pints? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. And then, quarts. Pint. Then I'm going to say, well, 1 quart equals 2 pints. So now that I know that simple conversion of 1 quart, how do I find out for 48 quarts? What can I do, Paul? 48 times 2, which gives me what, Clayton? What is it? 76? What do you got, Abby Gabby? 96. So 48 quarts equal 96 pints. Do we see how when I do this down here, it makes it easier to solve when I find for the single unit? Okay, so finally then I need to go ahead and close out my notes. I need to leave my blank for my summary. And then you guys need to do the summary tonight for homework, okay? And then what you guys are going to work on in class, so you're going to do guided practice. And that's going to be on page 308. You're going to do 2 through 8 even. And then you're going to do independent practice. You're going to do page 308 to 309, 15 through 33 odd. Okay, when you guys get done with that or halfway through, I'll try to see if if our BPS, the quit check's working again, okay? Let me go ahead and